I feel like every game today, Alex, was every time I'm like, all right, we just talked about this series. Where are we going next? And then it's like, oh my God, this game was great.
We had 3 clinching games tonight.
Three clinching games.
3 eliminations, 3 clinching games.
And then the one that wasn't
series left
was a walk-off.
Yeah. A crazy ninth inning.
A crazy ninth inning. Guardians Yankees today was just look. This one almost has Dodgers Padres feel to it.
Yeah.
Like this series is, come on, the Yankees are gonna win. I know the Guardians split on the road, but now it's going home. Yankees get out to that early lead, and then the Guardians fight back, and it all leads up to Oscar Gonzalez again walking it off down to their last strike in the ninth inning off of Clark Schmidt, which, oh boy, we'll talk about that in a minute. But walk off, Guardians win. They now have a 2-1 advantage in this series over the New York Yankees.
Really hard to wrap your head around.
Yeah.
Really hard to wrap your head around, especially how the Yankees finished their season, how Aaron Judge finished the regular season.
Yeah.
And it once again plays into this narrative of these 1 and 2 seeds who had a bye and just have not been able to ramp it up to a level that we are seeing these wild card teams come through, fighting their way to get to this round.
Well, only one seed.
Well, okay.
The other one seemed fine. Okay. They swept.
Yeah. Okay.
But
yeah.
I'm just kidding. But the narrative, yes. The 1 and 2 seeds, for the most part, struggled.
Yeah.
And are struggling. This series isn't over. But yeah, you're right. There is, and pretty much every manager talked about it. Even Dusty Baker, who I know the Astros swept. But after that first game, like I think that layoff didn't help Justin. Our offense started off slow. Mm-hmm. And every other manager is like, yeah, it's not the best thing in the world, which I called when this playoff format got introduced, because I've been up close and personal with it twice, in 2006 and 2012 with the Detroit Tigers. They sweep that ALCS. They go to the World Series after a long layoff. Mm-hmm. And both times they were probably the better team, but they come out really flat, and that layoff is a big thing to do with it. But Guardians win tonight, and like you said, it's a little bit of a head scratcher.
Yeah. The youngest team in baseball, the youngest team in the playoffs, going up against the Yankees. Even just them getting a win in Yankee Stadium, probably one of the hardest stadiums to play a postseason game in, really kind of gave them that confidence. I mean, that's a thing that gets scary about a young team who doesn't understand the pressure. This is the first time they are in this situation and in this position. They don't fully understand the pressure, the postseason pressure, because this is the first time they're experiencing it. And when you're fearless, you got nothing to lose. They have nothing to lose. The Yankees have everything to lose.
That was your key to the series before, is if this young team continues to just play
fearless,
without fear. And there is a degree of that's like, well, they could play without fear and still lose. But if they win, the reason is going to be because these young guys are just playing with house money. And it's like, you kidding me?
Yeah.
The youngest team in baseball, nobody's expecting us to win except for us.
Yeah.
We're going to go out and try our best, and we're going to walk up to the SpongeBob SquarePants theme song if we want to, and we're going to walk you off.
Yeah.
And that's what happened tonight. Oscar Gonzalez with the walk-off 2-run RBI single up the middle off Clark Schmidt. Get this, by the way. This is wild. Most go-ahead hits in the ninth inning or later in a single postseason in history. David Ortiz did it 3 times in 2004. Oscar Gonzalez 3 times in 2022. David Ortiz, postseason legend. Oscar Gonzalez, postseason legend. Walking up to SpongeBob SquarePants. Why? Because he says the game is fun.
It is.
And it's a kid's game, and that's what I want to walk up to. So what a series this has been. Every game today was so good. But as I've mentioned now a couple times, this walk-off off of Clark Schmidt put up some good numbers this year, had some good moments with the Yankees, but is he the guy that you want in that situation? I say no. I say Clay Holmes should be in. Who's your closer? And I talked about Dave Roberts here. Aron Boone needs to go. And I've said this before just this year. Aron Boone needs to go. They can still win this series. If they lose this series and lose in the first round, the first thing that is going to happen is I am going to take the video that the New York Yankees posted with me in it, their hype video for the postseason. They put me in it saying, yeah, I don't think the Yankees did enough this offseason to get that much better. Well, the New York Yankees lost last year in their first round of the playoffs. Oh, if they lose in the first round of this playoff to the Guardians after putting me first, I'm the first person you hear talking about the Yankees in their hype video. I don't know where that came from. I was rooting. I was talking high about the Yankees all year long once the year started. I just didn't think they did enough to win a World Series. I still don't believe that. Maybe they'll prove me wrong, but as of right now, they haven't. If they don't get out of this round, Aron Boone needs to go. If they don't get to the World Series, Aron Boone needs to go. You are the New York Yankees.
Yeah.
Okay? You're the New York Yankees, and you haven't been to a World Series in over a decade. That's unacceptable.
It doesn't fly. There are different standards with teams who have been at the highest level throughout the entire franchise history. That's a long streak.
Yeah.
To not be at the top.
Yeah. George Steinbrenner, Aron Boone would have been gone Aron Boone would have been gone a long time ago if George Steinbrenner was in charge still. And guess what? They also would have gone to get Luis Castillo. And they also would have signed Freddie Freeman. And just things are different with the Yankees now. And they're still the Yankees. They still have the high payroll. But things are different from those teams in the 90s, early 2000s when the Yankees were some of the greatest teams of all time. The money, exactly.
They were just going out. It was free money.
You went out.
Want you? Here you go.
You went out and got who you want. You went out and got who you wanted. And this offseason, the Yankees, it was Corey Seager, Carlos Correa, Freddie Freeman, right? They didn't get a single one of those. And the day after that is when I went out and said, the Yankees didn't get that much better this offseason. Am I wrong because Aaron Judge went out and hit 62 home runs and put the team on his back? No. Aaron Judge was unbelievable this year, but did the team get that much better on paper from last year? No. I mean, a little bit. I like the addition. I think Josh Donaldson brings this fire to the team that they needed. IKF hasn't been great in the playoffs. I mean, look, I still stand by my point until they prove me wrong. They haven't yet. And Aron Boone has gone from the hot seat to, in my opinion, gone. He needs to go if they don't win. Same kind of sort of decisions tonight. I didn't even realize I just went on this tangent. The whole reason I got here is because Clark Schmidt was pitching in the ninth inning.
Yes.
When it should have been Clay Holmes.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Clay Holmes should have been on the mound. Tonight's starter for the Yankees, Severino, who, by the way, deserves a lot of credit. Struggled early and then locked in and did what he needed to do for the team. But anyway, they end up losing with Clark Schmidt on the mound, and Severino post-game says, in terms of not bringing in Holmes, Holmes is our closer. Of course I was surprised he didn't come in. I don't know if he was down, but there shouldn't be people down in the playoffs. That's something you guys need to ask Boone or Matt Blake, the pitching coach, to see what is going on there.
Ooh. Not often do you get players calling out coaches. It's just something... It's an unwritten rule of what you're not supposed to do. You can take responsibility, but you don't point fingers. This is how you can tell the team is probably frustrated and upset with the situation.
Yeah, even Holmes himself. Holmes said he woke up today feeling pretty good, expecting to pitch tonight.
So then what?
I'll tell you what, because Aron Boone was asked about this, obviously, after the game. Aron Boone said Holmes was available only in an emergency situation. Normal soreness for him, but nothing alarming. Look, when you pitch, right, when you're throwing 100 miles an hour, your arm's sore that next day. Yeah. But your job is to be the closer, and it's the playoffs. What do you mean pitching in an emergency situation? And if tonight wasn't an emergency situation, then what is?
This is an emergency situation.
You have a narrow lead in the ninth inning in the playoffs in the 1-1 series, which whoever wins that third game has a massive advantage. How is this not an emergency situation?
Oh, it was.
What are you doing not bringing in your guy? You're bringing in this young guy that has never pitched in a situation like this. A boneheaded move. Aron Boone is out. If they don't win this series, he's gotta go. That's my opinion. I don't know if you agree, but that's where I stand. Frustrating. And even players, you mentioned it. It's a big deal.
You don't do that. Players don't do that. You never question
in the middle of a series. It's not over.
In the middle of a series, yeah. In the postseason, you do not question and call out the manager. It's an unwritten rule.
You were with the Angels for 10 years.
Yep.
Did a lot of post-game things.
Yep.
Some mostly positive on the field, some negative in the locker room, I'm sure, after some tough moments.
Yeah.
Did you ever, in 10 years, did you ever have a player throw a manager under the bus in a post-game interview?
No, and there were plenty of times, frustrating times with Mike Scioscia. I think that players wanted to.
And they didn't.
And they didn't. They said it's his call. It's his call, and that's what happened. I personally have never heard it. You don't do it.
Yeah. So those were the big storylines here. This series is not over. This will end. No, there's another game tomorrow, as in today. If you're listening, it's even today here. It's
Sunday.
It's now past midnight.
It's officially Sunday. Today there is another game.
Yes. So on Sunday, Game 4 will take place. Garrett Cole on the bump for the Yankees. So that's a game, obviously, that they need to win. And if so, they will be off to this is the only series.
It's the only game tomorrow.
It's the only series still going, and it's only Game 4. Pretty crazy, right? Yeah.
Today was wild.
Today was wild. Guardians walk it off. The place was going nuts. Congrats to the Guardians. Quick storylines here. Oscar Gonzalez walks it off. He really likes SpongeBob.
Yep.
Aron Boone needs to go.
Ooh.
Clay Holmes should have pitched. Players throwing managers under the bus. That shouldn't happen.
Yeah, Aaron Judge broke his hitless streak, which was nice.
Aaron Judge got a hit.
That was positive.
He's batting .083.
Yeah, he got a 2-run home run, so broke that streak. So probably good for him to just after the last game ending, him getting booed out of Yankee Stadium.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Those are the
storylines there. But that one is not over. Nope. Guardians win. They're up 2-1. Garrett Cole on the mound for the Yankees tomorrow. We will see what happens.